See, I'm going to take us quickly in and out through the scripture, so I want to go closely and just talk quickly about it, and you don't even have to turn to it because I'm just going to tell the story. John 4 with the woman at the well. And so she showed up, and God is already there, and he asks for her. He's telling her, and he's there, but she's questioning God. See, how many of you keep questioning God? See, I don't know about you, but for a long time, I was questioning God. See, but I tell people all the time, you say you're ready to go, you know, you're waiting on God. But I said, stop waiting on God, because when did you have to wait on him? He is all present. He is always there. He waited on you. But you keep on saying, I'm waiting on God. No, stop saying that, because you're doing a disservice to God, because he is always ready. And so the woman comes there and she's drawing, and he says, if you knew who I was, you would never thirst again, right? So he's talking to her and she's talking to them, and then he asks her some questions. How many times God have asked you questions? But instead of answering, you switch the subject and you start talking about something else. But God is trying to talk to you about something very specific, but you go on to something else. See, because he's trying to purge you. He's trying to work on you. He's trying to shake you up. But we don't like to be shaked up. We don't want to be purged. See, because that's a little bit uncomfortable, and we don't like to get out of our comfort zone. But can I encourage you, outside of your comfort zone lies your greatness. But if you remain in your comfort zone, you will always be just that comfortable. But see, when you can show up and allow God to allow you to embrace your greatness, that's when you're going to truly be able to reap all that he has in store for you. So I tell people all the time, your greatness lies at the edge. And some of you keep on saying, God, I'm coming. And he keep on saying, come on, my daughter. But then you back up. Why? Because you get fearful. Or you start doubting yourself. Or you don't believe in who you are. And then another time you say, okay, but God, I got it now. I'm going to take another step forward. He keeps on saying, but she would just come all the way to the edge. I got so much in store for my daughter. But you keep going back. And you keep going forward. But then you'll go back again. See, God ain't no flip-flop God. See, you keep on trying to pretend that you can't tell him what he already knows. He knows what's in our hearts, but we keep trying to pretend he don't understand. See, like the apostle said, stop making and say what you mean, because he already knows. He knows what's on our heart. So why are we trying to pretend that we have to go before him and say something different? Because he already knows what we're thinking. I tell people all the time, some of you at work want to cuss the person out in your cubicle. You better just pray for God real quick, though, because you know our flesh, what they say, those alter egos, we will go there. So pray about it before you speak about it, but speak about it, because if you hold on to it, they're going on with their day, and you the one got a bad day for the rest of the day. Now you all jacked up for the rest of the day, when you should have just said, God, I'm feeling like this, and I need to approach her, but give me the wisdom of how to go before her and say what I need to share. But you go before her and you're scared to say it, so now you jacked up and you carrying a burden all day. Now your day all out of order. But see, the problem is God keeps on trying to talk to us and we keep questioning him. And how I know, I used to work in, I was a high school teacher and I worked for a long time. And I went to school every day and I gave the kids 100%. But when I got home, I have a 14-year-old daughter, I didn't have much to give her left. Because I was depleted raising other people's children. So I said, God, I need a new reality. This is too much. Like, I'm burnt out. I need something new. I need to do something different. So then, one day, my boss calls me in his office, and he says, we love you here, and the children love you here, but we can no longer fund your position. Oh, my God. Because I taught a class that wasn't necessarily a course they needed. So I said, well, wait a minute. I was like, okay, God, something ain't right. We ain't have a conversation. We ain't talk about the plan of action. God had to shut me down quick. How many of y'all know he gave me a quick shutdown? He said, girl, I don't have to discuss nothing with you. But what you need to do is walk in faith. See, you asked for a new reality. I gave you a new reality, and now you're not ready. So, see, we got to stop asking God. He's ready to give it to us, but then we keep going back. We keep questioning, God, I'm not ready. God says, well, since when? I already have the end already in store. Are you ready for right now? Are you ready to embrace what's going to happen during that time? So now it wasn't easy, because there was days I was struggling like, okay, God, is the lights going to stay on? Is the mortgage going to get paid? But I tell people all the time, never once, see, we got to stop being ashamed. Our story is not for us, it's so that others can go to the next level and be blessed. So never once was I ashamed to walk in the grocery store and swipe my EBT card so me and my daughter can eat. So stop being ashamed of what your past entails, and in fact share it, because somebody else is going through that right now. down that needs to know that there is greater on the other side of your struggle. But if you don't share your struggles, then everybody think it's all peachy keen. So you saw me and I look good. Yes, I do. But you got to know that there was a struggle to get to this point. I wasn't always confident. I didn't always show up and shine because I dealt with depression. I dealt with suicidal thoughts. I dealt with God. I'm crying every night how I'm going to get up and make it another day. But I thank God for his grace and his mercy, because if you can understand that your test is just preparation for your testimony, then when you get through the breakthrough, you can be ready to walk and proudly walk in your testimony. So the lady at the well he asked her about the husband. She says, oh, I have, basically she didn't want to say nothing. See, how many of us know we've had some boyfriends and some husbands? He said, in fact, you have more than one husband. She wanted to change the conversation. She didn't want him to tell her the truth about what was going on in her life. God is trying to show you some things so that he can give you what's next. See, everybody wants the end, but you don't want to go on the journey to get to the end. You can't get to the end without the journey. So stop trying to pretend you can just get to the end place, but you don't want to go through the struggles. You don't want to get knocked down and get back up. See, I had to tell everybody on Facebook yesterday, I'm ripping and running and I'm rushing and trying to do different things, and I jump out the car and want to get in the house before it rains because I didn't want my hair to get wet, right? I jump out the car and boom, hit the ground. Knees all, I said, ooh, but I'm wearing a skirt tomorrow. Knees all scraped up. Only thing that saved me from busting open my face was a Popeyes bag of food. I had Popeyes in the bag. So my face put the print right in the Popeyes box. Boom. And I said, you know what? But guess what? The story of it all was I could have laid there and wallowed. But I jumped right back up as if I had never failed. So I said, God, you know what? He is always teaching us life lessons right in the midst of our storm. I said, God, you just said, okay. He said, let me just go ahead and give you why I let you fall today. I said, why, God? He said, because guess what? Back then in the past, you would have laid there and wallowed. You'd have been out on that concrete thinking somebody's supposed to come and help you up. Girl, get up yourself. See, most of us is waiting for the sister next to us to say, girl, you got this. Girl, you got this. Stop waiting on them to say, girl, you got this. And tell yourself you got this. You ain't have to wait on nobody else to tell you got this. God is your validator. And when you stop looking to man, the blessings are right there. But as long as you are waiting for your neighbor to tell you it's okay to make a move, it's okay that you failed yesterday, you can get back up. God has already told you it's okay. His word has told us it is okay. You are going to fall. You are not perfect because only I am perfect, he says. So go ahead and go through life because I am going to carry you if you just have faith in me. Don't put your faith in man, but put your faith in God. Because he is the only one that can lead you, protect you, and guide you. And when you get down on your knees crying like she showed you, you better be knowing who you crying to. But when you get down there crying, you can get down there crying all you want. If you ain't got no relationship, who are you crying to? You better get a relationship with God so that when you go before him and cry, you know that he's going to hear you and he's going to give you exactly what you need. Because most of you will get down there crying and then you're going to call your girlfriend on the telephone for her to give you the solution. Well, why did you get down there and waste God's time crying and take up somebody else's time that they can be using to get to the heavens, but you blocked in the floodgates? We need to stop wasting God's time because he has everything and he gives you everything, but you go to him playing around. And so we are worried about that. And so then she tries to change the subject. But in that verse for John 4, notice he brings her right back. Right back. See, some of you keep trying to grow from certain things in your life, and God is saying, I'm not done yet. I still got more lessons for you to learn. See, most of us say, I want to lose weight, right? So probably within just about 3 months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I was wearing probably a 16. And so now I wear 8, right? And so people kept saying, girl, you looking all skinny, or girl, you think you're cute. And I kept saying, why do you say that? Because see, you guys don't know how that makes me feel. Wow. Because first of all, I kept saying to myself, Dad, was you really that big? Because why do you keep saying that? And instead, I had to say, you know what? It wasn't even about all the outer weight. It was all the inner weight I was carrying. Y'all only can see what's on the outside. But what was on the inside was what was hurting the most. I'm not tripping off of the skirt size. I'm tripping off all the other weight I was carrying. Depression, being unhappy, being sick, crying all the time, being depressed, wondering how and what was next. See, that was the weight I let go of. That's the fat I wanted to purge. See, y'all looking at the fat on the outside and no. I'm grateful for that. But that's just an added bonus. My true lesson in the loss was me gaining closer relationship with God. Because so many other things was blocking me from sitting right at his side. Why? Because I thought I wasn't worthy enough because of my past bruises, my past hurts, and my past disappointments towards God. So I thought I wasn't worthy enough to get close to him. So that pushes me to bring us to another scripture that I love, which is Luke 8, when the woman touches the hem of God's garment. See, some of us are so bound to our past hurt, molestation, rape, abortions, disease, all of those things that could be just bounding us up and keeping us shackled. When God is saying, he went in and he moved around and he said, someone touched me. And they said, no, nobody touched you. He said, listen, in the real world, he said, stop telling, I know what I know. Right. See, I know what I know is what he was basically saying to them. Somebody up in here did touch me. But see, the problem is, some of us are afraid because we think we're not worthy to get to him and touch him.
That's right.
Why? Because the people around you tells you you don't deserve to get to him and touch him. Can I tell you, you need to change your circle. Remove those people from your life, because if they're not encouraging you to draw nearer to God, they shouldn't be near you. You need to get with the people who says you can go before him no matter what, because in your brokenness is where God will build you most. So I thank God for my brokenness, because now he has built me up so much that I know exactly what I need. I know what my purpose is for him. And it is to serve and allow others to be blessed by my story. So see, we have to stop feeling like we can't. I was so thankful because I was that person who thought I couldn't touch his garment, right? Because the world would have you believe you don't deserve it. The world would have you believe you don't deserve it. But when you remove yourself from the world and get in the gates of God, you know you deserve it. You know you are worthy. You are deserving. And everything you've gone through has been for a reason. But see, you've got to get to that space. And so I declare we need to get in that space today. We need to move closer so we can just touch him. Can you imagine right now if you just reach out and you know you're touching God? Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to give it up in here. You got to just know what it would feel like to just touch his garment and just say, God, I've gotten close enough to you. I've got past everybody else, and you allow me, little old me, messed up me, jacked up me, wretched me, to touch you. And when you touch him, he's going to fill you up. Are you ready to be filled up by God? See, because I don't know about you, but I want him to fill me till my cup runneth over. So I can't even hold it all. Because that's when you know you don't. See, some of us are allowing ourselves to be so depleted with the everyday busyness of life. That's why he let me fall yesterday. He had to remind me, my daughter, don't get wrapped up in the busyness of every day of life. That you forget where I brought you from. So if he have to send me tumbling, I'm going to take the tumble. I told y'all I hit that ground hard and knocked the wind out of me. I was like, oh, Lord. I jumped right back up, grabbed my bag, grabbed my Popeyes, and I kept right on going right in the house and doing what I needed to do so that I can continue moving forward. But I could have laid there and wallowed. But I didn't, because why? It wasn't going to change nothing. See, some of you keep wallowing over the same stuff. Why? You see nothing change. See, I tell kids all the time, if you keep doing the same thing, the same way, but yet you expected different results. How could you get something different if you ain't done nothing different? See, some of you need to switch your day-to-day routine, because you're doing the same old thing. You're getting up every day, You moving through life, but the problem is you just existing.
You're
not living, you existing. God didn't birth us to live. He birthed us to exist. He didn't birth us to just be here and exist. He birthed us to live. So stop existing and start living. It's not worth it to just exist.
My God.
Now, we're going to go over to Luke 7. Now, I'm sure y'all know that story. With the woman with the alabaster box. See, some of us got a lot we're holding on to in our box. Doubt, fear, don't think you're worthy enough, those conversations you keep having with yourself. See, some of us got a box that's so full, it won't even stay closed. See, the good thing is this was closed, but imagine if this was running overflow and it wouldn't close. But you know it's designed to close. It has a hook on it. So can you imagine that lady as she enters the room and all the naysayers are in the room blocking her? And she just keeps walking, tears rolling down her eyes. See, because some of you got to get to this place crying. I mean, just crying. Because she knew once she got past all of them and could just get to God, what that was going to feel like. See, some of us is missing out on what it feels like to get in the presence of God. So you have to go back and remember what it felt like when you got in the presence of God, because some of us are so far removed from that. Re-enter and feel what it feels like to be before his presence. Because when you can get there, then you can really bask in what it is to know how to be before your great Savior. Oh, the feeling of just knowing when you get before him and he's going to wash away everything that you've been holding on to. But see, some of you, he keeps saying, bring it to the altar and leave it, but you keep on carrying it. Some of y'all are so weighed down. They tell you, you know how they got the little spinal things and you see people bent over like this? That's all y'all. That's some of us, right? We bent over, walking because we got pain on our back. We got all our problems on our back. We got all our hurt on our back. We got all the disappointment on our back. But God says to leave it at the altar. So stop picking it up. See, some of you are still carrying stuff in your box. He says empty it, but you keep on bringing it back. Stop bringing it back. So CeCe Winans, I don't know about you guys, but I love that song. And she said it best when she says, don't be angry when you see me wash his feet with my tears and dry them with my hair. You weren't there. She says, you weren't there the night Jesus found me. You did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his loving arms around me. You don't know the cost of the oil in my box. See, some of you are wrapped up in what you see other people looking like, and I tell people all the time, don't get caught up in what I look like. My box is heavy. I have a lot. You don't know if you're willing to carry my box. See, you don't know if you're willing to carry what other people have gone through to get to where they are. So don't be envious of what you see other people have. In fact, you need to worry about what it is God has in store for you. So she says, I just love that song. I played it 5 times this morning before I came here. She says, you weren't there the night Jesus found me. You did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his loving arms around me. You don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. See, for me, there was times when my box got so heavy, I wasn't sure I could handle carrying it. It was the depression, the suicidal thoughts, the shame, the low self-esteem, me worried about what other people looked like, thought about me, and how they perceived me. And most importantly, like I said, the problem is how we perceive ourselves. But when you saw me, you couldn't tell that. See, because on the outside, I always looked good. So you couldn't tell that on the inside, I was broken. And see, that's some of us now. We show up, and this thing is hard to put on, so I'm going to just put it up to my face. And this is what we look like on a day-to-day basis. This is how we parade around at work, at church, in front of our friends, and we pretend that we are okay. But if you remove the mask, truth be told, you are broken. But unless you allow God to fill you up, you will remain broken and you will continue to wear that mask. But can I tell you, when you mirror, it will reveal who you truly are. Because you cannot lie to yourself when you see yourself in the mirror. So today, take off the mask. Reveal and go to God before him and say, God, I'm broken and I need you to fill me up. I'm feeling broken, God. Can you give me what I need to be filled up? And can I tell you, he will fill you up till your cup runneth over. So don't allow your brokenness to be where you stand still. But see, I said the greatness lies at the edge. Some of us are getting caught up in the back. Stop being caught up in the back and keep moving. Moving closer, because I say the greatness lies at the edge, but I believe that's where you find God at. That's why I got to my edge and I didn't just look over, I jumped over. Because I was looking for all God had in store for me. See, some of you keep going before God without expectation. You better go to God with big expectations. See, I want him to give me beyond what I'm looking for. So stop just expecting small things and go to God with great expectations of what he can do in your life. See, because I realized then and only then that God was preparing me for greater. I don't take it lightly. That's why every chance I get, I remind people that it is not because of me, but surely it is his grace and mercy that my light shines brightly today. So when I show up and I tell people all the time, your greatness is at the edge, you just need to go there. I don't just look anymore. I completely go to the edge and I show up in my power. Why? Because I know God will protect me, he will keep me, and he will forever continuously build me up, because I am still not to where he has me to go, where he will have me to be. But I'm expecting greatness, so I'm going to keep riding. And I tell people all the time, and I know they think I'm crazy, but I tell people all the time, I am God's ride or die chick. I'm going to ride with him until the wheels fall off. Do you hear me? We say that about cars, but I'm saying that about God. Why? Because if I ride with him, I know I'm going to ride safe. If I ride with him, I know when I fall, I'm going to get back up. If I ride with him, I know I'm protected. Because if I keep riding by myself, see, some of us trying to learn this thing on our own and go on our own. You better ride with God. Because he's the only one that's going to be able to protect you, hold you, and keep you. So I declare today, you are great. You are awesome. You are confident. You deserve all God has in store for you. Stop waiting on God. He's waiting on you to show up, show out, and be ready with great expectations for all he has in store for you. I'm Regina Robinson. I'm your inner confidence strategist.